This video is for Backwoods. This is my payment to you for the archery video you shared with me. Regards to where you're talking about concealed carry options and you liking the idea of a Colt Commander, and brought up the point of the further you get away from original design, the more problems you're going to run into. Let me give you a visual example of that. Just not necessarily the problem, but if we worship at the altar of John Moses Browning, the further away we get from it, the closer you get to heresy or an unholy abomination. I have just laid out right here the most extreme examples I have on hand. This is a 45 ACP round, standard hardballer. That's the round I like to have in 45, mainly because the feed ramp, I believe, was originally designed to load a hardballer, not a hollow point. And if you think about how something going up into a ramp, if there's anything that would catch and not allow it to slide, that's problematic. Double check me on my research, but this particular round was actually designed for the 45 1911. Being that is the case, this round, this magazine length, the spring that's inside that magazine, and this recoil spring, it's actually a recoil assembly. If you look at it in the length of it, now it's unsprung in the firearm itself, it would be, but this is the original design. So if you get a 1911 that has a captured recoil spring, some people may say, well, it's the intended design, it doesn't matter, but it further gets you away from that reliability. I mean, dare I go against the genius of a person like John Moses Browning when he designed firearms such as the M2 that are still in active military use today after centuries now? You gotta be fucking kidding me. On to Gaston Glock. So this is a Glock 27 magazine from the Glock 27 with the standard capacity. This is the recoil spring inside of a Glock 27, chambered in 40 caliber Smith & Wesson. This is the most ridiculous round I believe that you can get for a 40 Smith & Wesson. It is 60 grain. I'm using this as just an extreme example of as far away that one can get from original intent. Also, too, you're talking about a firearm that is, say, 20%, if not more, made of plastic. You have a double recoil spring, like a double capture, as opposed to single dynamic. And if you look at it, you've also got some shit going on there of spring rate. So one of these springs comes back easier than the other to make this dynamic squeezing as the slide comes back. Something that I neglected to mention, and I don't have the example handy, out of the action that these recoil springs undertake while you're firing, and the pressure that the magazine gives feeding the rounds up, in addition to needing to eject the spent casing, all this math, original intent, bad example because it's a different caliber, but this little sumbitch started out as 10 millimeter, and now it's shorter, now it's lower weight. This round was built around the firearm that you see here. This is an adaptation to a form factor. I don't want to discourage you from the Colt Commander, but I wouldn't carry a Colt Commander. But I also carry a Glock 27, so I guess make of that what you will. Maybe I would carry a Colt Commander. Biggest thing is that's just a fucking lump of lead on your hip, buddy. I don't know. I could get into holster and belt technology, but you know, everyone's mileage may vary, and we're all built differently. But there are your examples. And not only did this video suck, it also, I think, violates Sunday fun. All right. Y'all be good. See you.